Okay, hello. This is going to be a reading on Beyoncé and Jay-Z and their relationship. If you hear anything in the background, my dog is snoring right beside me. So I kind of have an idea of kind of how I'm going to do this reading. So I'm just going to start off with like, how does she feel about him? Like, what does she think about Jay-Z? How does Beyoncé feel about Jay-Z now? And what does she think about him? How does she feel about him? What does she think about him? What does she feel about him? She thinks he has a big ego. She thinks he can be a bit arrogant at times, but she does kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie, she kind of is attracted to a little bit of arrogance, like a lot of confidence, you know, a bit of cockiness. She is attracted to that. She does feel like sometimes he isn't always emotionally, he isn't always like emotional enough for her. He isn't always emotionally, like he doesn't always communicate his emotions as much as she would like him to. I mean, she thinks he's very smart, she thinks he's very intelligent, she thinks he's very good with his words. She's happy that she married him. You know, she has no regrets really about that. But it's weird, she kind of can feel like he can be almost like his worst enemy sometimes. So he can like tie himself up with his own thoughts, like almost like he thinks so quickly. Sometimes it can stress him out, if that makes sense. Let's see, how does she feel about him? I will say, I think their marriage is better now than it was when it first started. Or at least it's been better recently than it was when it first began. Yeah, he's definitely, he can definitely kind of retreat into himself at times, like be a bit more pulled back from situations, kind of want to deal with things himself, and not always be the most communicative with her. I mean, the cheating is here as well. She does, I mean, when she thinks about, like, when I'm putting on her energy for him, and what she thinks and feels about him, like, that does come up. It's not really something she can forget. Let me see, is okay. This card's just popped out. I mean, I feel like things are okay at the moment. Or at least from her perspective. Like, they do have a lot of good memories together. I think she's happy that she had kids with him. I think she's happy with the family that they have together now. She also thinks they're very well suited and like well balanced. If you hear anything, my neighbours have literally just started making noise as I turn this camera on, so I'm sorry about that. But she does think they're very well balanced and well suited for each other. That's pretty, yeah, it's pretty positive from her side. At least it is now. Obviously, like all couples, they've had their issues. But as of right now, I think from Beyonce's perspective at least, she feels like things are relatively okay. Now I'm going to look at how Jay-Z feels. How does Jay-Z feel about Beyonce? What does he think about her? What does he think about her? What does he think about her? The way I feel when I'm pulling on like his energy when he's thinking about her is like he almost feels like she wants too many romantic gestures from him. The way it's funny, if it's weird, it feels like he thinks she wants like too much romance from him, which I don't really get because like how can you have too much romance? But like that's the way he, oh Lord, that's the way he feels. He feels like he's kind of, she wants date nights and romantic gestures and she wants a lot from him. And I feel like he's just kind of like a bit tired of that sort of thing. He likes like being her like, Lord, he likes being her like protector in a way. Like he likes being kind of the stereotypical like alpha male kind of thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, some of these cards are a bit challenging. Yeah, he's not altogether happy at the moment. Oh Lord. If I'm being honest, from his energy, I just kind of see him, he's happier when he's alone. Like that feels kind of mean to say because like her energy was not like this at all. But he kind of feels happier and more able to be himself when he's by himself. And I don't think this is anything new. Like, I don't think this is something new in this relationship. I kind of feel like this is the way he's always been right from childhood, with like family and then going into like other relationships and then finally his marriage. I feel like he's just kind of sometimes just like he feels better when he's by himself. I don't know why he got married, to be honest. I don't know why he got married because I don't feel like he has particularly positive views or opinions on kind of not just his marriage but on marriage in general. Like the way he sees marriage is kind of a bit dark. Okay. There is someone, I feel like he does talk to somebody. He does talk to somebody though about this, about how he feels and kind of the stress he's under. But he doesn't talk to her. I feel like he talks to like a friend that he's very close with, but it's like, it's not her. I mean, he does think she's very patient, as a person. Like, I don't think he regrets marrying her. I don't get that impression. It's just the way I feel from his energy is almost like there's almost always like a disagreement or tension that's coming up. It's like it's not like they're fighting all the time and it's like crazy, at least from his perspective. But it's kind of like something will come up and then they'll kind of both stew on that issue. Like they won't confront each other immediately. They kind of like sit with the problem by themselves and both kind of get more annoyed as time goes on, and then eventually a fight, like an argument, will start. But it feels very kind of like passive aggressive, at least from his energy. It feels kind of like passive aggressive anger. I don't feel like they have, you know, big arguments, big fights like that. It feels more like passive aggressive, like little things that can be done to kind of poke at your partner a little bit. I mean, yeah, he also feels like she's kind of happier when she's on her own too. Like, I don't know, I just get this impression from him that, like, even though they're together and they are married, when they're like off by themselves, whether that be, you know, they're in different places, they're traveling, they're touring apart, he always gets the impression that they're happier then. Yeah, so it's kind of very different from her energy. Let me just ask, like, does she know that he feels that way? Does she know? My dog is snoring so loudly, I'm sorry. Does she know? Does she know that he, like, feels that way? Does she know? Okay. That was a lot of cards. That was a lot of cards. That's a lot of feelings from her side. Yeah, I feel like she knows part of it, but not everything. And I feel like she almost has to guess his thoughts. Because like I said earlier, the communication is a bit tricky at times between them. So I get this impression that she almost feels like she's guessing. She doesn't like him going to clubs by himself either, because of the women that are around. She knows, but she doesn't know everything. She doesn't know like every thought and feeling, but she kind of guesses from his behaviour. Okay, let's look at the relationship. Let's look at their relationship together. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to pull some cards for like the past of their relationship, the present, and then the future of their relationship. Let me look at the past a second. Yeah, that just came out for the past as well. See, the communication is not where it needs to be for the two of them at the moment. Let me just focus on this and I'll go on to the future and make predictions. This is just saying about the issues they've had in their marriage. I mean, I don't think it's any sort of news. They've made quite a lot of music about the issues that they've had and about cheating and stuff like that. So this isn't really news, I don't think, but this is just saying like the issues they've had in their marriage. And I do think they did put in a lot of work in the past to fix or try to fix the issues that they've had. I do kind of get the feeling that he can sometimes appear very differently than who he is, if that makes sense. Like, he'll almost act more kind of emotionally mature or emotionally sensitive than he maybe feels like he actually is. Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes he kind of, I don't want to say like he fakes that side of him, but it's almost like that's just the easier side, if that makes sense. Like, that's the just easier thing to deal with her in their relationship, is to be more, or at least to kind of take on. It's so weird, I'm trying to describe it. It's like he almost like sees people who are genuinely like that, or I don't know if they've done therapy or like stuff like that, but it's almost like he sees people who are genuinely like that, or he sees, you know, the way his therapist talks and acts, like in that more kind of emotionally mature, emotionally sensitive way, and he kind of like takes that on and acts like that when he needs to, because he gets a better response when he's like that. I'm just gonna be honest, I don't see like a massively passionate relationship between them. That's not to say they don't love each other, that's not to say that at all, but I just don't see any cards here that kind of tell me that they're like incredibly passionate, incredibly like all over each other. And even the past cards don't show that. Like, I don't think their relationship has ever been like that. I almost see like, I just see like more of a stability, and I think at times it can get a little boring, I'm gonna be honest, but it's just like a stable relationship, and I think it's always been that. There's not really been, well, yeah, everything hasn't been smooth sailing, it's not been like a deeply passionate, crazy, wild relationship. As for now, I mean, as I said before, the communication issues, I mean, yeah, they're both very focused on their children. I feel like that's kind of both of their main focuses, are the kids. They are like happy moving forward together. They are like, I don't see plans to split up now or anything like that. I think they're pretty okay moving forward together, and being together. I don't see either of them thinking like about going elsewhere or breaking up their marriage or anything like that right now. However, I do see a little bit of something going on behind someone's back. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this, to be honest, it feels like it's just like not telling the other person things. Once again, communication, it's just like not telling somebody everything that they need to know. So let me just look at let's pull some cards for the future of their relationship. Future of their relationship. Yeah, I mean, especially Beyoncé in the future, she is definitely, as she gets older, she's definitely going to put up with less. That's the thing. She's not, you know, a starry-eyed 20-year-old anymore who's just going to put up with anything. Like, she's a 40-year-old woman. She's a businesswoman. She has children. You know, she doesn't put up with stuff the way she used to. She doesn't put up with behaviour that she used to. So I do see her kind of getting harsher about things in the future of their relationship. I see them continually making money in their relationship, like both of them have no issue with that. They will always make money, whether it be together or apart. As she gets kind of tougher and less, I don't want to say less forgiving, but just less tolerating, shall we say, he's gonna kind of pull into like his little bubble, shall we call it, where he'll just be like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. Like, he's gonna kind of just not really care that much and get that emotionally involved. He's just gonna kind of be like, yeah, fine, okay, whatever. Like, he's just kind of like, I don't really care. I mean, yeah, are they gonna have more struggles in their relationship in the future? Yes. I mean, to be honest, I just kind of see from Beyonce's side, I would just say, like, going forward, and I think she may probably start doing this anyway, but I'm just gonna say it. I would advise her to kind of not see what she wants to see from her relationship, like, see the reality. Because I do feel like sometimes she just sees what she wants to see, and that's not the reality of what's going on. That's the reality of her situation. So I would just say, like, don't just stay in, like, the bubble you've created for yourself. Try to see the realities, because I do feel like it's not always her best skill to see the realities of the situations in her relationship. Okay, and just to end the reading, I'm just gonna ask, what does Solange think of this relationship? You know, because we all know about the fight in the elevator. We all know what happened there. And I just want to see what she thinks about Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship. So what does Solange think? What does she think about their relationship? She thinks her sister would be happier alone. But she's also of the opinion of, like, it's not really my business. I'm just gonna stay, like, where I am, and they can do whatever they want. Like, she's not getting involved now. She knows how everything looks to the public, and she's aware that what happened in the elevator could never happen again, because I think she got in trouble quite a lot from that, just because of the public reaction and how it made the whole family look. So that will never happen again. But she's just kind of, like, I just hear her being like, I think she'd be happier, like Beyonce, I think she'd be happier alone. That's just what I hear her saying. But she's kind of the opinion of, like, I've made my opinion known to both of them. People know what I think, and, nothing happened. They're still together, so I'm just going to stay out of it and kind of see how things go. Whilst also maintaining the public image of everything's fine, we all love each other, this is a happy family. So yeah, that's kind of what I see for Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship. So thank you for watching, and that's it.